Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. Man, it has been a long time since I said that. And why I have been away for like 3 months on my YouTube, I'm gonna tell you in this video. So get yourself some tea, hot chocolate, coffee, sit back and enjoy this video. I'm so glad you're still here after me disappearing for like 3 months. I prepared some questions because I thought a life update is overdue with me being 3 months gone. So where have I been? I uploaded my last video 2 months ago and it was about stopping my birth control. And it was still in a different setting, as you can tell. So I moved in with my boyfriend. What happened, why it happened, I'm gonna tell you in a bit. I worked a lot. December is the most stressful month in marketing. I think everybody knows that. But that is also the reason why I couldn't film in December, because I was working during the week and I also was kind of working on the weekend. So I didn't have time to film in between my working weeks. It was the first year where I was a full-time social media and project manager in the firm I'm working in. Every other December I had like 2 weeks off due to college, but I didn't have that this year. So I didn't put into consideration that I need to pre-film a lot of videos so that I can stay consistent in December. And as you all know, December is the month where a lot of things happen. Family-wise, it's Christmas, it's my sister's birthday as well, and I moved in December. So December was jam-packed with work, family stuff, personal stuff, and I didn't want to make a video just for the sake of making a video and don't put my heart and soul in it, because I feel like that wouldn't be the type of content I want to put out, and it wouldn't be fair to give you a bad video just because I don't have more time to make a good video out of it. So that was all happening in this 2 months. I wasn't gone completely. If you follow me on Instagram or on TikTok, you still saw some bits and pieces, because I feel like short form content isn't taking me as long to produce or edit than it is for long form content. I want to make more out of my long form content and I want it to be so my YouTube channel is literally my baby. I love it very, very much, and I didn't want to take the break, but with everything going on in my personal life, I just couldn't film and make it the way I want to. But what did I learn from all of this? First thing, I learned that I love YouTube with my whole heart. I love making content, I love making videos, but this break that I put myself on due to obvious reasons helped me a lot with figuring out where I want my content to go, what I want my videos to look like, and that I want to pour my heart and soul in it even more because I love it. It's like my creative outlet. My whole social media accounts are that, but I think with YouTube, because it's a long form outlet, my creativity, I can play with it a little bit more and I can be more creative than with short form content, because I can take you along with me even more. And I love documenting my life. The whole reason why I started YouTube was because I loved it as a creative outlet and I loved to document my life, because I feel sometimes you don't know what you achieved till you start looking back at it. And my YouTube channel is one of those looking back moments. I started it when I was starting college in 2021, and now I'm done with college. I'm a full-time employee and I can look back at all the things I achieved. That's where I've been, what I've learned while I've been away. And what I was hinting at the whole time while I was telling you where I was is I moved away from my family. It's not a huge move. I'm still only a 1.5 hour drive away from them, but it's way more than I was before. The first apartment I lived in was a 10-minute walk away from my mom. That is a bigger change for me. I decided to move because of my career. The city I grew up in, there wasn't a lot of things I can do in the field I want to work in, which is my goal workplace. So I decided to move here. Another reason why I decided to move cities is because my boyfriend needed to move here. So we decided to move to this new city together. He was living with me most of the times anyways, so that made it a little bit easier to choose that we're just gonna move in together. I must say I wasn't really scared to move away from my parents. I mean, yes, it's only 1.5 hours till I'm back at their house, but I still work at my old agency. So I still see my parents a lot because I am sleeping at their house whenever I have to be in the office, which is so fun. Not really, because I didn't stay in this apartment as much as I want to. I moved here and I'm still back in my old childhood town most of the time. So I feel like the I moved away feelings haven't really kicked in yet because I'm away so often. I feel like the hardest part though was leaving my dogs. It sounds weird and it sounds like I don't like my family, and that's not the case, but my parents know why I moved. My sister knows why I moved, and my sister is in the city I live in with her boyfriend sometimes anyway, so I know that I can see her, and my sister is the person in my family that is closest to me. So I feel like if my sister wasn't able to come visit me when I needed her, or I wasn't able to come visit her when she needed me, I feel like that would have emotionally drained me. But because I know my sister is still very, very close and my whole family is still very, very close, I feel like I don't have this sad I moved away feeling because I know I can go back whenever I want. And as I already said, I'm seeing my parents 3 times a week anyways because I'm still working at my old agency. What surprised me the most when I moved apartments and cities is I felt at home in this apartment so soon. With my old apartment, I always felt like it didn't belong to me because first of all, it was my sister's apartment before it was mine. So when I moved there the first 3 months, it felt like I was visiting my sister without her being there. And afterwards, it really didn't feel like my apartment. There are a lot of things that play into that, but I think that's enough information. But with this apartment, I feel like after 3 nights sleeping here, I looked at my boyfriend and told him that I feel like I'm coming home and not like I'm going to a random apartment, and I love it. One of my best friends is living like 10 minutes away from me, which is a perk as well because I can see her whenever. We don't meet as much as we want to because she has her life and I have mine, and our schedules aren't always the same, but we try to meet at least once a month since I moved here, which is great. I kind of feel more free living here because this apartment feels like it is my apartment. I still can see my family, visiting my boyfriend's family a lot as well. I don't think I feel guilty for moving cities, and I think that would be a very dumb feeling because you move out of a reason and you move away because you have a reason to move away, and for me it was because the field I want to work in is in this city I moved to. I still need to find a new job in the city, but if I'm honest with you, I didn't even start to look properly because the moving stressed me out enough, and the back and forth between my place and my family's place is also stressing me out a little bit. But that's something I want to figure out in the next month so that I don't have to live at my family's place or I find a good agreement with my current workplace. Moving in with my boyfriend was, as I said, a very easy decision. I moved here because he starts college here and because of my work situation. I'm not a long distance relationship person. I can't handle it. I already had it wasn't a long distance relationship, but for me at that time it was, and it was not good, to say the least. For me, as soon as my boyfriend told me he wants to go to college in the city, I knew we're moving here together. I wanted to move here anyways because I went to college here as well, and I love this city because it's a bigger city than the town I grew up in. I love that you're more anonymous. Anonymous? Is that the word I'm looking for, I think. So that was the reason we moved in together. And now to the questions I think everybody wants to know when a couple that never officially lived together moves in together. What changed in our relationship? And I would say our relationship changed for the better. And every time when I say that to someone who asks me how it is living with my boyfriend, they look at me like I'm crazy. But let me cook. He lived with me in the apartment that I lived in before, kind of. He was there 4 to 5 days a week and then he went back to his parents' house. He never had much of his stuff at my my place because it was my place and I wanted it to feel like my place and not like our place because he didn't want to move in with me there. And the apartment also was not too small to live there together, but it was packed already. So if he would have moved in there with me, the apartment would have been way too full. And now we moved into this apartment together. It's also a 2-bedroom apartment like my old one, but it's bigger and his stuff is here. Obviously, he moved in here with me. We got a lot closer. I, for myself, can tell you I'm a lot calmer. And that's the biggest change for me. I feel like I've been a lot more relaxed in this apartment. And the most beautiful part basically is being with your partner 24/7. I feel like you can't do that with every relationship. If I think back at my old relationship, I think moving in with that boyfriend at that time would have completely ruined both of us. So I feel like you have to be on the same level of wanting to move in together and you have to understand how your partner thinks. Sounds weird, but my boyfriend and I are very alike. So I know how he thinks and he knows how I think, and I feel like that for the most part helps us in our relationship. And one last thing I have to say about the moving in with your boyfriend part, you know I love giving advice. I have a ton of advice videos on my channel. Don't move in with your boyfriend to fix things up. Moving in doesn't fix anything. If not, it makes your problems worse. If my boyfriend and I wouldn't have been in such a stable relationship for such a long time, I think we wouldn't have moved in together. He would have gotten an apartment and I would have gotten an apartment, but we are together for 4.5 years now. So we both are on a similar point when it comes to our goals. We talked a lot about what we want from life, and also there we have the exact same goals. Otherwise we wouldn't have been together for this long. But I think these are things you have to talk about before moving in together. Because if I wouldn't know that my boyfriend supports me in every aspect of my life and I wouldn't support him in every aspect of his life, and we were working towards the same goals when it comes to our private life, I feel like moving in together would end up in breaking up because you realize that you don't have the same goals, that you don't want the same things from life, or you're not working towards the same exact thing. Because my boyfriend pushes me to reach my goals that I want to reach. My boyfriend also pushes me to do my social media stuff, but he also understands when I need breaks because everything else is hectic. And I do the same things for him, but these are the things I think are important when you think about moving in with your boyfriend. Don't rush it. Speak about the important parts, and if you realize while you start looking for apartments with him that that's not it, you have to tell the person that you reconsider it, but for now you're not into moving in with the person. Did my identity shift? I don't feel like a complete different person, but I feel more like me. I don't know if that makes sense, but I felt like I needed to hide in my old apartment, and in this apartment I can be 100% me, which I don't know if that has something to do with the reason that I stayed in an apartment that wasn't really mine. But at this apartment, everything here belongs to me and my boyfriend. I feel like this is my place, and I feel like I've grown a lot since the move. Also since leaving college, but that was last year in March, I think. But I feel like I'm more of an adult now. I think I know what I want to do with my life, which is great. I turned 25 this year, so I feel like that is a good direction. But I also forgive myself more, which sounds weird, but since I moved here, I don't stress myself out as much. The reason could be that I always see nature when I wake up, but I don't feel so stressed in this apartment. I feel more eager to follow my dreams and start chasing my goals, but I don't know if that happened in the last 2 months I was gone, or if it happened in the last year. But I feel like I'm a huge overthinker. I start to unlearn it. I'm not saying that I don't overthink anymore, but I do it way less than I used to, and I feel that's great. This move didn't teach me much about independence because I already lived alone before that for like 2 years, but it taught me more about myself and how I need to handle myself, how I want my apartment to look like, how I want my future house to look like, which sounds weird because it feels so out of reach, but I feel like I developed a good instinct of what I want and don't want when it comes to my life, and I speak up a little bit more about these things now, which I think came from the move because I'm not as codependent from my parents or the people around me because this is my apartment, mine and my boyfriend's apartment, and I feel that made a lot with my brain. I feel like I'm not the the same person that left my old apartment. I feel like I'm more settled, I'm more down to earth. I feel like I arrived, which sounds weird because I know I'm not gonna stay here for my whole life, but I love it here. I love the apartment. I love living together with my boyfriend. I can't imagine living without him anymore. These are things that really changed. I don't know if other people notice these things about me, but I feel like sometimes, and I don't mean that in a mean way, but I feel sometimes the right thing to do is to move away from your parents to start becoming your own person. I never was very codependent with my mom or my dad, but I knew that they weren't out of reach. And now I have to handle a lot of things by myself because I can't call them and tell them that they need to come over because I can't do it by myself. I mean, I have help because my boyfriend is here, but I have a lot more things that I need to figure out by myself. And these things that I need to figure out by myself help me grow. I'm not the daughter from anymore. I'm my own person. And I feel like that helps a lot with growing. And I feel like this helps a lot with rebuilding my confidence and rebuilding my self-love, which I don't say that my parents stole that from me, but I give so much away from my independence because I know that my parents would handle a lot for me if I just asked them to, that I wasn't as independent as I could. And I feel like that changed. And now we're coming to my career and my routine updates because there are some. My daily life looks different on a day-to-day basis. As I told you, some days I'm here and working from home. Some days I'm at my parents' house going to the office. Some days I'm staying with friends. So it changes a lot where I am and how my routine looks like. But most of the time when I'm home, I have the same routine I had in my old apartment, if we're honest. I wake up, make myself breakfast, eat my breakfast, get ready, start working. Most of the time, something like this. Sometimes I fell out of bed, get ready, start working, make breakfast, somewhere in between. So this is my daily life when I'm here. When I'm at my parents' house, my life looks a little bit different because there I wake up, get breakfast because my dad has the breakfast table set for me every day. And then I normally go work out with friends in the morning, go to the office afterwards. And then sometimes I would meet with friends after work as well, and then I go back. So I'm not very much at my parents' house, not because I don't want to, but because I have a lot of friends in my childhood town and I want to see them. And so when I'm there, I try to get everything done that I want to get done, which is also my therapy sessions, which I'm still going to in my hometown, which I can correlate with working in the office. It didn't really impact my work. The only thing that it impacted is my private life because I moved away and now I have to sleep at my parents' house so that I don't have to drive as much back and forth. I don't mind driving 1.5 hours back and forth, but gas is expensive and I don't have enough money for the new apartment, gas, and my day-to-day life to drive back and forth all the time. So that's the main reason why I'm staying at my parents' house. It's not because I can't drive back and forth, it's just because it doesn't cost me as much if I'm staying there for 2 nights. But I must say I'm happier here, and this is my career and routine updates kind of. I want to look out for new work opportunities because I want to grow into a field I haven't been in till now, and for that I need to find a new job in the new area I live in, and I'm trying that, but I haven't prioritized it yet because I didn't have the time for it, which we're gonna change. Rapid fire mental and emotional check. Was it lonely? No, it wasn't. I basically moved in with my boyfriend. He's always around. If he isn't around, I can take care of myself. So I never feel really lonely. The only thing I've been missing is making new friends. Did I romanticize it? Yes, absolutely. I love moving. I love the whole moving content. I filmed all the moving process, but I lost all the files, which hit me like a dump truck because I wanted to edit moving vlogs for you, but I don't have the files anymore. They are gone. That was fun. Did I struggle? I don't think so because we had a lot of support. My family supported us. My boyfriend's family supported us. We didn't move in here with just our 2 hands. Everybody who could helped with moving in here, and everyone in our families is so supportive that we are living here. So I didn't really struggle with anything. What helped me adjust? I feel like having one of my best friends here helped me adjust a lot. That I studied in this city helped me a lot as well because I know some bits and pieces of the city. I must say I'm not doing as much as I want to, but I feel like that's a seasonal thing. It's snowing a lot. And when I mean a lot, I mean a lot. We had a snowstorm warning. We had ice everywhere. Basically, it's deep winter. And I always feel kind of unmotivated when it comes to being winter. And as I already said, I didn't make as much friends here because I have my one best friend here. I studied here, I told you that, but the most friends I made in college aren't from this town, or I just don't have any contact with them anymore because we grew apart. What I wish someone told me before moving. I feel like because we got a lot of help, I didn't feel like this move was hell. But the one thing I can tell you is get as much help as you can. Have someone with you while you're moving who has structure in their head, because I know if my mom and my boyfriend's dad were with us through the move would have gone a little bit more unstructured, but those two had a plan and they just followed the plan and I just had to follow their orders. So I think that's one thing that I would tell someone who is moving. And another thing I would tell you, if you're thinking about moving or you want to move, you will live in a messy apartment, a messy house for a while, and it's okay. You don't have to unpack every box right when you move in, because not everything has its place. It takes its time and it's okay. My boyfriend and I live here for 2.5 months now, and this apartment still isn't completely finished. We had like our important rooms which we prioritized. For example, the living room was the first thing that was ready, but not with every small little detail. I sometimes don't get the rush why you need to be so fast with unpacking and having everything ready, because I feel like moving is a process and you can't get everything done, especially when you need to buy new things. If I have bought everything that I needed to buy till now in 1 month, I wouldn't have any more money, which isn't as good. The 3 things I learned in the last 3 months: you are the only person that gets to decide where you live, how you feel, what your goals are, and you are the only person whose opinion counts. I feel like that's something I needed to learn, because as an overthinker and as a certified people pleaser, I can't do that a lot. This thought is in my head sometimes and then it leaves like it came, but I feel like moving away helped me a lot with realizing that I'm the most important person in my life, which sounds weird and sounds cringy, but if you think about it, you are the only person that sits with you through your whole life. People come, people go, and I mean, yeah, I have my sister and I love her with my whole heart, but also she is living her own life. She's not with me 24/7. She's not sitting beside me all day long. The only person that knows how it looks inside my brain and knows what to do to make me feel better and stuff like that is me. And the same goes for you. And I feel like that's something that I kind of learned. I'm trying to learn to don't let noise from other people inside my brain as much as I used to. The second thing I learned is, to contrary belief, me and my boyfriend have a much better relationship since we moved in together. Everybody I talked to, also married couples, told me that their whole relationship dynamic changed for the worse when they moved in together. I feel like me and my boyfriend are even a better couple now. We understand each other more, we see each other better, we understand each other better, and we are more there for each other. Communication is key in every relationship you have, and we learned communicating a lot better since we moved in together. And the third thing I learned is, you can have the best relationship with your family. Moving away still is good for you. And I don't say break off contact with your parents or break off contact with your family. I didn't do that. And my boyfriend also didn't do that, but I feel like being away from your family, and especially being away from your safety net, which is your family, helps you grow so much. And it helps you become way more independent. It helps you become your own person. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, I'm sorry. But you are a mix of the people you surround yourself with. And I feel like if you surround yourself with a safety net, and I know parents don't mean it in a harmful way, but if you have parents that take away every chore you have, that make your doctor's appointments for you, that make every decision for you, you can't become your own person. And I already was my own person because I was a very rebellious teen, which I'm very sorry for. My mom hadn't really much fun with me when I was a teenager. I feel like I've become myself even more, and I have become my own person, if that makes any sense. And now we come to the last 2 bits, and I promise you I tried to make it fast. Was I ever unsure about my decisions? No. I feel like the only struggle I have is the back and forth, which I can handle and I can manage and I can get out of, and I know that. But I love living here. I feel like the hardest part is making friends in a new city. I think about making a series out of that for my Instagram and my TikTok. So if you want to see that, let me know. What do I miss? My family, obviously. I don't see them as much, and I don't mean with see them, because we clearly both know that I sleep at my parents' house a lot, but I don't have the quality time that I had when I visited them when I still lived in my old apartment. Same goes for my sister. I feel like now I have to make dates with my sister, which never happened. I just could pop in at her place, she could pop in at mine, or we visited at our parents' place, but now we have to make set dates to see each other, which is kind of weird. Would I do it again? 100%. I feel like moving here helped me so much. I grew as a person, my relationship grew. I feel like welcome to this weird change of scenery. My camera died on me. So we're filming this way now. I would 100% do it again. I feel like I've grown, our relationship has grown, and I see the opportunities that the new city can give me. What's next? I feel like this next chapter of my life, I want to do what I really love to do. So I want to do my social media, of course, because I love doing it. I want to find a job in the field I want to work in. I want to focus on finding good quality friendships. I have friends and I have good quality friendships as well. One of them living 10 minutes away from me, but I feel like I'm in my apartment so much because I only have that one friend, and as soon as she has something to do and my boyfriend is working, I'm sitting in here. That's something I'm focusing on this year. Finding new cool friends who give me something. I feel like I have had a lot of friendships that I just had for the reason to have friendships, but they didn't give me anything or they didn't give the other person anything. So we just drained our energy and called it a day, which isn't a good reason to have friendships. And another thing I want to focus on is dating myself more and finding friends, finding new places for me in the city. All of that I think I'm gonna do as content pieces, like after work dates, dating myself series. I think I'm gonna do that on TikTok or on Instagram, and also sometimes over here with a long form video. I think content wise I will stay the same. A little bit of vlogs, a little bit of advice, a little bit of what is going on in my life, because I feel like that is a good mix. I love sharing my life because I love documenting it and I love looking back at what I have done. So that's something that is not going to change. The only thing that is changing and is constantly changing is me and my style. And I think that's something you will notice in my videos. I try to give you a bit of my personality more because I feel like I've been hiding it a little bit in my videos. I feel like I sometimes in my vlog gave you personality, but not all the time. And I feel like the coolest thing a person can do is be 100% herself or himself. And that's what I want to do with this channel, be myself and be kind of your bestie, because I feel like that's the vibe I want to give off. I want to show you what's going on in my life. I want to connect with you and I want to show you who I really am, because I feel that's something that some people can't do properly, put on a mask around people, and I don't want to be like that. So yeah, that's all the questions that I wrote down. That was a lot. It was also a long video. So if you stayed till here, comment this emoji, and if you have any more questions, let me know down below in the comments. I'm gonna answer them there. I feel like this video is 30 minutes long, so that we don't have another 30 minutes long video. If you have any wishes for content, for what you want to see, anything like that, you can write me an Instagram DM. As I already said, I'm trying to make a few series out of what I'm doing in this city, with my solo dates, with finding friends, with just living my life here. I'm doing that on Instagram and over on TikTok. My username is somewhere, I think, over there. And in the end card, make someone's day this week. We see us next week on Monday. I'm so excited to start doing vlogs again and start doing my YouTube again and start my social media journey again. I love it. I'm so excited. I'm gonna edit this video now. We see us. Have a lovely week. Make someone's day this week. Be kind to yourself and everyone around you, because kindness is the one thing we could need in the current state of the world. I love you. Have a wonderful week. Bye.
1, 2, 3, funky.